Round 2, Heat 2 is an all-time clash. Jeremy Flores, representing France, takes on the wild card Mason Ho from Hawaii. This one already got started with Mason Ho.
You know, Mason's going to love this kind of conditions. Obviously, he's got Dad in the corner who's surfed this place as big as it gets. You can see Mason obviously on a little bit of a longer board, which I really enjoy. Mason's not scared to do that step up, Joe, and it's going to really suit him right now. Staying nice and low, just getting that first wave under his belt. It's not going to be a massive score, but Mason Ho puts a score on the board, jumps on the ski, and he's going to be back out in the lineup.
Not so little on a day like today as we look way out the back. We have a lot of size. It's well overhead, and Flores loves to match the power here at Bells Beach. Little under the lip hook. A sneaky little turn to fit in down the line. And he's got a ton of whitewater shoving him down the beach. He's hoping for some open face, but he goes down. So slow start, Mason Ho, the 1.9. Now Flores will get on the board for that first turn. Hollow lefts, especially like at Tahiti. Also the Pipe Masters as we take a look at this turn.
Yeah, beautiful turn right here from Jeremy. Just a little bit of a sort of a check turn really, just to try and get himself around that. He didn't want to wipe off too much speed. He saw that wave was going to run away, so he didn't really get that board all the way around. Came out of that, made sure he came out of that turn with a lot of speed. Look how solid that wave is right now. Right there, you can see just check turn for Jeremy. Wanted to keep that speed and try and maintain that down the line projection. Unfortunately getting swamped by the whitewater, so slight advantage to Jeremy Flores.
There's this one of the standouts. Catching up with you, Potts. You were pretty impressed with what Mason did in huge surf at Waimea Bay as we see Flores now. Little front side wrap, picking off a nice clean wave. This one a little bit smaller than the sets, but it's letting him really rifle off some turns. Air dropping off the lip, and he ends up going down.
Well, he's on his way to a good score there too.
That onshore flow we had that was pretty severe this morning is starting to lay down. That glassy open face really let Jeremy Flores open up a bit.
I mean, of course he's taking this seriously.
I love it. So Heritage Heat still on standby, possibly going later on today. This is Mason Ho from the north shore of Oahu. All just waiting for something to show up. Taps it off the top, he'll just kind of fade. All set up work for Mason. And now grooving off the bottom, deep bottom turn, clean carve in the pocket. Still has some open face to work with. Nice little tight jam off the top. Now the Hawaiian off the bottom, and a classic closeout finish, always styling through. Mason will get his second scoring ride with 19 on the clock.
Yeah, that wave, that looks so much like his dad right there.
At Bells Beach. Let's see this one from start to finish.
You know, I like the fact that he wasn't rushing. You can see him just taking his time, moving that foot further and further back, waiting for it. Now he connects with the lip. I love that beautiful little fade off the bottom right there. There's a lot of things that Mason does that if you don't really watch it closely, it's easy to miss. Nice, clean, smooth surfing there. Nothing too radical. Knows he's on his way to a decent score. Wants to make sure he finishes this wave off. Patience is a virtue out here today. Mason Ho, watch this turn right there. That's the most radical turn with that style that he comes out of it. Gets that nice low center of gravity. Make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. So Mason Ho, a good little score there for him.
Love watching the angle, looking into the wave. How hard is it, Potts, on a day like today, just to pick the sections to turn off of?
Well, you can't rush it. You know, you watch Italo Ferreira as well. I mean, he really did take his time. He waited for that section to pop up in front of him, and then you react. If you're trying to oversurf the wave today, you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Itchy and sort of sprained my ankle pretty bad, and just put in a lot of time trying to get back in the water and taped my ankle, and yeah, it felt okay. So sort of a lot of anti-inflammatories, and so it's good.
Well, you can take a lot of confidence out of that performance and keep going in the year. We're excited to see what you do. Back to you, boys.
Thanks a lot, Rosie. Tim Stevenson, proud to represent the locals here at Bells Beach, as we'll catch up with Jeremy Flores as he's into the tail end of his wave here. There's that finishing move under a meaty section. Smart maneuver choice under the lip to pull off that finish. Jeremy Flores was one of those guys that was competing for world titles, but didn't mind signing up for some heavy water sessions. Mason Ho loves doing the same thing. Mason now setting up a first turn to that whitewater coping. He'll drift it just to show control. Grooving his way through that hack on the open face. Springing down the line. Mason's hoping to really stretch out this right. Sets the rail. Nice easy pace on that forehand carve. Harder off the bottom. Little lip line hack. He'll end up going upside down.
Yeah.
Had a few injuries on tour, and the commissioner's office was quick to call him up as we take a look back here.
Yeah, solid wave here for Mason Ho. I love this turn right there. Gets those fins sliding around, releases the pressure on that back foot, which creates that drift. Mason Ho showing some control. Bit of variety, which the judges are going to love. Nice solid wave here. Look how much, I like the way he just takes his time. Now he drives off the bottom. Gets that drifting maneuver. Showing some variety, as I said before. Nice control there from Mason Ho. There's no rushing with the Mason, is there? He just takes his time, waits for the wave to stand up and then reacts. Just mistimed it through this inside section, so that is going to hurt him. Just looking for a score in the 3.21 range on this wave. Just mistimed that last maneuver right there. So Jeremy Flores dropping that 5-6, takes the lead, Joe.
Donning the purple hair.
Yep.
That's Timothy Bissau. That's what you're supposed to do as a wild card. To look a little different for the rest of the top 34. Back to this one with Mason up and out just real quick.
Yeah, you know what I like about Pete?
You know, you can handle that. You know, these guys are used to being in surf of consequence. They can get under a few, like you can see right here. Here we go. Jeremy up and riding out the back here, trying to find some of that nice clean up and fish. This thing's going to kind of stream out, it looks like. See, it's coming into that whitewater zone as we were talking about it. Off the bottom, sweep down into the corner again right there. Beautiful line. Take it away, boys. I can't.
Thank you, Watts. As we now see that little layback jam off the top from Flores. A lot of energy and powers a layback hack even harder on the finish, but that end section ends up catching up to him and takes him down.
Good wave selection from Jeremy. As you can see, even though that wind is dropping, those nice clean medium ones are the ones you want. Once it starts getting further on that inside, it's going to start getting more vertical on the face, and that's where you start unloading some big turns. You can see Jeremy showing a lot more energy, a lot more amp on this wave right now as he comes through that inside section, jams it in the pocket, but then just gets swamped by that whitewater. When that whitewater converges, Joe, you've got to be out in front of it, otherwise it's going to be a difficult one to make.
So Flores now just needing a 3.27. We'll see him back in the lead with a 4.20 because of all the early results and how long it took him to get that first bell. As we look at Mason Ho. Important ride for the Hawaiian. Always grooving through his turns. Stylish off the bottom. Wraps it off the top. He needs a 4.64 here to get the lead. Carving the open face. He'll hit the lip line for a float. Just connecting all the appropriate maneuvers, but he wants something major on the inside. Nice easy tempo and rhythm, and he'll just clip that float to finish.
Wow. Nice smooth surfing there from Mason Ho. Showed a lot of patience waiting for that wave to stand up for him before he unloaded his turns. Mason a lot smoother, a lot more patient. You can see just drawing off the bottom. Nice smooth carving maneuvers. Trying to keep those fins engaged, get that rail in the water. Another nice turn there from Mason. So two solid maneuvers to kick things off. Now this is just all fill-in work, waiting for that wave to stand up. Now he connects with it. So three solid turns from Mason. Is this going to be one of his better waves? Maybe a 5.17 as his best. I think this is going to be right about there. And a nice finishing maneuver. The judges want to see you finish that off. Jeremy Flores, his last wave of 4.2. That could have been up into the 6-point range had he finished that wave. 5.04, which is kind of a solid score. Jeremy, that's not going to do it for him. Wow, Mason Ho, well surfed heat from him.
So Jeremy Flores took a roll in with the whitewater, was almost going to get up off the bottom, but the wave went flat and didn't give him a chance to perform. And now Jeremy runs out of time. He gets an equal 25th out in the second round, and the wild card dream run continues for Mason Ho. Semi-final at the Pipe Masters, back at Bells, taking out big names, and it was a smooth approach.